Hey, I apologize again. And today, guys, I'm here to do a special video. And this special video is about a thing that's been on my mind and been pissing me off for a while. About the Weeaboo. Yeah. Now, if you guys remembered, not too long ago, I made a video of telling you what is a Weeaboo and what is a Taku. Now, I have to say, maybe that video, it's only recent, but I do say the way I explained it might have been hard to people to understand what a Weeaboo truly is. Well, actually, no. I felt like I made my point clear what a Weeaboo is, and the difference. But maybe the difference between a Taku and a Weeaboo still might be a bit different. But pretty much what a Weeaboo is, for anybody who doesn't know, and actually I also do recommend go watch my video of talking about what is the difference between a Weeaboo, what is a different Weeaboo and what is a Taku. But let me tell you what a Weeaboo is again, for anybody who's about to watch this. Someone who doesn't know what a Weeaboo means. Weeaboo means someone who has a big fan. Pretty much like us otakus, they are big fans of anime, manga, and Japanese culture. But not actually. Ignore the but for now. And they want to learn Japanese, of course. Us otakus want to be like that. That is not. I can see why the connection and why the misplacement for otaku and weeboos can become wrong, because I cannot deny what weeaboo means has a lot of connection to otaku, but there was one element to a weeaboo that us otakus don't have. Well, not just one element, two elements that it has. What a weeaboo is a weeaboo is someone who has a big obsession to the Japanese culture, basically anime, manga, visual novels, and want to learn more about Japanese culture. And they want to learn Japanese. But what makes them different to otaku is they want to be Japanese and they deny their own cultural heritage. In other words, if they're English, if they're born English, but they want to be Japanese and they deny their cultural heritage, and plus also they want to be Japanese. They deny their English. They believe they're Japanese. And for the Japanese they learned, they don't actually get properly taught Japanese. Like, I'm planning to get taught one. I'm planning to get taught one day. Learn Japanese. I want to get taught Japanese. But if I don't end up getting that education, then I would more likely never learn properly speak Japanese. I know that. I already know that. I don't deny my own cultural heritage, just first of all. But a weeaboo is someone, basically, who's a big exception of pretty much Japanese culture, but are pretty much assholes to Japanese culture because they speak crappy Japanese, they believe they're Japanese, and they also deny their own cultural heritage. That's what a weeaboo really is. That's what pretty much what a weeaboo is. They're assholes, even though they love Japanese culture and everything, they're unfortunately assholes, pretty much racist people for the anime community, pretty much. Well, they're not as racist as normal racist, but the closest a form of racist you get in the anime community, unless they actually go borderline racist, which is not anime-based racist. This is actually just racist as in anime race. That's normal racist, but what weeaboo pretty much is someone who's a big exception in anime, but they want Japanese culture. They want to learn Japanese, but they're pretty much assholes to the Japanese culture. They also believe they're Japanese and deny their own cultural heritage. Me, I told you I'm otaku. What makes us otakus again different to a weeaboo is that, first up, we want to learn Japanese. That's it. I have to admit, all of us otakus want to learn Japanese. And of course, we have the big obsession to Japanese culture and everything. But it's one thing we don't do. We don't be assholes to Japanese culture. Now there might be, and also it just shows you with me, there was actually some. Also, we otakus also know that yes, there are some elements we may not like about Japan, but we don't deny them and we don't take the mick out of them. We don't be rude to them. That's what a weeaboo actually will do. Once they actually fully learn what a Japanese person is or something, they actually would actually be fucking rude to them. Like, be pretty much racist to them. Which I've actually... That really pissed me off. That just really pissed me off. And that's what pretty much a weeaboo pretty much is. An otaku is someone who is the gooder side, you could say, the gooder side between a weeaboo. It's something what a weeaboo should have been. A weeaboo is someone who... An otaku is what a weeaboo was supposed to be, but they're ruder. Weeaboos are ruder than otakus. They're pretty much the bad otakus. That's why their name has got changed into weeaboos, because us otakus don't want to have anything. We don't want to have too much connections at all to the weeaboos. Because we know, yes, again, we get mistaken for weeaboos, because like I said, people have actually mistaken weeaboo as someone who's actually a big fan of anime and Japanese culture, but they don't know the full meaning of Japanese, or the word. That's the only thing that might mistake us otakus as weeaboos, because people only know that logic, only that bit of what the word means, not the rest of it. Now, I'll go on to say there's no actually official definition of weeaboo, but that is the closest definition you can get for what weeaboo pretty much means. Someone who's a big fan of Japanese culture and anime and manga and stuff like that, and they want to learn Japanese, but they're pretty much assholes to Japanese culture. They believe they're Japanese, they speak crappy Japanese, and they deny their own culture heritage. So otakus, we're pretty much what weeaboos wanted to be. We're pretty much what the weeaboos wanted to be, except we don't want to be Japanese. We don't want to be Japanese. We're alright with our own culture. I'm alright being British. I'm alright being British. I might like Japanese culture. I might want to learn Japanese, but I don't want to be Japanese. I never wanted to be Japanese. I never wanted to change my cultural heritage. I never did. I actually loved English. I also have to say, even back when I was younger, I watched a lot of British-based shows. I always had back when I was younger. Like I told you guys when I was only in year 7, or pretty much when I was around 11, 12 years old. That's when I started getting to proper anime. But pretty much I was always pretty much watching normal cartoon, normal kids TV shows when I was young, and they're all pretty much American or British, pretty much English shows, which just shows you. I still have nostalgia. I still get that little nostalgia when I see the clips of those. Because I don't go much into watching them. Yeah, these days, because I'm so big obsessed with anime, I just want to watch anime. I just want to watch that. Unfortunately, I cannot deny that's what I like. That's what I want to watch. And I cannot deny I have something Japanese right by me. And also 2 anime products there as well. But I don't deny my own culture heritage. I really like being British. I like being British. Actually, there is actually why I've learned from because part of the reason I notice a lot of countries respect British people. Now, I know that what you might feel like, Connor, what you're going to. Yeah, I know, but I know that emotionally status, they're like that. I'm being British. I really like being British because pretty much I've just been being British my entire life, and I prefer being British. I don't want to change my culture and heritage. That's one off. That shows you why I'm not a weeaboo, because I'm a freaking otaku, because I don't deny my cultural heritage. Now, that's what makes me not become a weeaboo, because I don't deny my cultural heritage, and I don't want to be Japanese. I can speak crappy Japanese. There is no way I cannot not speak crappy Japanese. Because as I'm not Japanese, I cannot properly speak Japanese without getting properly taught it. That's what, or even getting taught it, I might not speak as well. That's why I don't not in my own culture heritage, because I know I'm not Japanese. I'm English. I'm British. So that's one off, and that's the only way you can actually pretty much not be a weeaboo. That's what I can say, guys. But what's on my mind? What property is on my? Sorry, like 10 minutes will go into that. Like what I would said in my last video about this topic, but what's on my mind? What's on my mind is that lately people have been treating people who really like anime. Now I know this has been going on for years, people picking on me because they like anime, but now this day and age, it's getting close to pretty much racism in some way. Even you guys should know that. Everybody should know that. Do you notice there was actually some connection to racism for anybody who likes anime? Because it's a cultural, and pretty much being part of racism is pretty much being rude to someone's culture. And we got anime culture. Anime has now become a culture, guys. Otaku culture. That's what it has become. A culture. Pretty much. Now as people using weeaboo as a insult word. Not as just a definition name for someone who, like I told you, what proper weeaboo is. But now they're using it as a proper insult. As you... I have to say these words. I don't want to, but there are some words I need to bring out for the racism area that I have to bring out because it helps me to talk about the topic. So sorry for anybody who might be offensive to what the words I might bring out. To say my topic, because I cannot say what I want to say without saying these specific words. So I'm putting these words into educational, you could say, based purposes. I'm not using them as an insult or anything. I'm using these as educational based purposes. But we know now weeaboo has become pretty much an insult word. The anime community, the anime community is now more of a culture. It's a culture. And part of racism is pretty much being rude, being an asshole to someone's culture, heritage. Mostly when it comes to skin colour, it's focused on, but they are also racism to someone who's maybe white, but they're maybe Italian, or they're French, like they're French or something, and then suddenly someone can say, "You're a French person? You really disgusting," like something like that. Like that's pretty much being racist. That's pretty much being racist to a French person. That means you can be racist to someone who's not. Racism can be formed into any form. It can be a skin color form. It can also be cultural, country-based heritage form. Weeaboo is pretty much what it has turned into. A freaking racism word. Now in this status, I say the word weeaboo is going to mostly affect the Japanese people. So I have to also say, well, weeaboo cannot be Japanese. A weeaboo can never be Japanese. A Japanese person cannot be a weeaboo. The reason I'm saying that, because you should have noticed what I meant by the word, they want to be Japanese. What a weeaboo is. They want to be Japanese. If they already are Japanese, why do you want to be? Because they're already Japanese. First off, pretty much, it has to be a non-Japanese person to be a weeaboo. That's why I said otakus, non-Japanese otakus, have a more bigger problem than a Japanese otaku when it comes to getting called a weeaboo. And now, of course, weeaboos are now being used as a proper insult. Pretty much, and it's connected to anime, and anime originates from Japan, I can see now why the word weeaboo can be now more offensive in Japan than it is here in the foreign countries. Because we can just like blow it off. We can just blow it off. And yeah, I mean, I would do that as well, because someone actually did call me, but I was like, but I do say I felt pissed inside. I felt fucking pissed inside. My heart, I felt fucking pissed getting called that. Now there's some people out there who actually accept to be a weeaboo, which, okay, you can be a weeaboo if you want to. Just stay away. Just stay away from me, please. Because I'm not gonna die. If you want to be a weeaboo, you can. There is actually a right to be a weeaboo if you want to. But just stay away from me. Just stay away from me, because I don't want to be at all anything to do with you guys. Because like I said, right now, even though right now it's not really classified as a racism thing, but it's on the borderline to racism, which I am very fucking worried about. Because it has become a form. I have no idea how it's going to affect the anime community. That's first off, because we already know how things go off. But do you guys remember? Now basically the weeaboo word has now become getting close to the words like nigger. Like I said, I gave you a warning, guys. I gave you a warning that I might end up using words like nigger in this for specific. But weeaboo has become a word that is pretty much what the word nigger can be used as, a racist word, which I feel like like that. I don't like that. I actually don't like that. And it's weird, actually, because one person who called me a weeaboo was actually a British person, which I'm surprised about. That's another big thing. Your own cultural heritage, a person from your own culture will actually call you and calls you a weeaboo. Even though they're the same culture as you, you're British, and most people might think like that, but us otaku, us anime Japanese cultural lovers, pretty much, I have to say, who are not weeaboos because we want to stay as our original culture, our heritage, but pretty much feels like we're being racist now. To me, it feels like I'm getting pretty much racism. And what I understand from other people's words, it feels like racism. In some way, it feels like racism. Even though most people won't see it as that, even now they won't see it as that. Even your own beloved cultural heritage, in my case British, would not see that. But us, people who are into anime for our entire lives, who are big fans, it has become a form into a racism thing for us. Because even though it's pretty much only a culture in people we like to watch, but yet again it's somewhat of a culture as well, a normal culture as well, even though there is no blood ties to this culture, except maybe to the Japanese, because it is a Japanese thing, but that's why I said it is going to affect Japanese person weeaboo, it is going to be more racist to them than it is to us, but we have this like heart bond to it. Like our hearts are bound to this, and it has become tough. People, you should know, even the people that made racism banned because they were affected by racism. You guys should know, you guys, you can maybe not like anime. That is alright. You can not like anime, but being rude to someone because they like anime, that's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. That is literally unacceptable. Being rude to someone because they like anime. They like anime, you being expected. That is unforgivable. That is pretty much for us that is unforgivable. To be rude to us because we like anime. We like manga. We like visual novels. We like video games. Yeah, guys, video games, Japanese video games. Actually, pretty much a lot of our video games this day is Japanese. I mean, pretty much a lot of our games we play these day and ages are freaking anime games. Think about it, guys. For any games you play, like, come on, Nintendo, guys. Nintendo's a Japanese company. There's a lot of Nintendo fans, but I found some of those Nintendo fans hate anime. But guess what, you Nintendo fans who hate anime? What you're playing is Japanese. And guess what those Japanese? Guess what we call Japanese animation? What Japanese animation is short for? Or Japanese cartoons is short for? Anime. That just shows you guys. Just shows you. If you love Nintendo games, you're pretty much liking some form of anime. Yeah. Majority of what anime is, of course, used for is to describe animation that you watch. But yet again, don't forget, anime is just a short form, a Japanese word also, just for animation. Just for animation. Japanese cartoons, Japanese animation. And video games are animation. So, I just get you out there, guys. Pretty much, you're also contradicting yourself, calling someone a weeaboo, if you like pretty much video games. If you like video games, guys, like this day and age, this day of age, majority of people now these days play video games. You guys not noticed that? You see. And guess what? Majority of people play video games. I found out the ones who are big fans of video games end up also being big fans of anime. Just shows you guys. Just shows you. Actually, I have to admit, back when I was younger, I was playing a lot of video games. I was wanting to buy video. I wanted to buy video. Unfortunately, because of my money expense, I could not buy tons of video games. But I've been playing pretty much videos I can get. I've been playing the shit out of them. I've been playing the freaking shit out of them. Of course, I can't say shit because it was child, but you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, and pretty much that's part of the reason why I got into anime, because of what search made me find anime, because of games. That just shows you. Just shows you guys. Pretty much. Now Weeaboo has become, to me, and maybe to other otaku or normal fans of anime, who are not pretty much who are not assholes to Japan, they're pretty much, this word has now become a racist word in some format. Now, as it has not been classified, it's not been officially known as a racist word in some people's minds, even now, even from this video. For anybody who's watching, you might not believe me. You might feel like it's not racist yet. But you guys come up to know there is essence. There is actually a building format for it to become racism. Don't forget. What made the word nigger become racist is because the same way we're using this weeaboo word. Now, even though nigger means black slave, that's what a nigger means, black slave, there is actually there are a lot of connections to that word, also to the word weeaboo. And I'll talk about the meaning. The meanings, there's no connection between the meanings, but the way they got formed, the way they got used, and the way it got built up. It just, that's the main reasons. And not just that, how we evolved. Because don't forget, another reason why the word nigger has become a racist was because the black people have rise against it because they didn't want to be slaves anymore. They didn't want to be called those words anymore. Part of the reason why now it's racist was because of that. They were revolted. They were revolted because they don't want to be called that. That's what us anime fans are doing. We're freaking revolted. What I'm doing now is revolting. I'm freaking revolting here. We don't want to be called that. We normal otakus or with normal anime fans who accept our culture, heritage, and everything. We don't want to be called weeaboo. We don't want to be called a weeaboo. I don't know who started it. Who started? Like, I know the word has been around for a while. I know that the word, but who started making it a proper insult? Who started to spread it around? I don't know who started it. Who started it? I don't know. But this has gone too far. It's getting to the point there where we might end up going back to the same way as pretty much the ancient said. But this time it's not going to be on black people. It's going to be on individual people who like anime. And not just that. Also, another thing the problem is that how many people who like anime compared to the people who are pretty much not into anime and the world, we people who like anime are just only a small percentage to the population. That's one problem we have. That there's more people who are not into anime than the people that are into anime, which we have a disadvantage at. We have a disadvantage, and that's what might get us to that situation because the black people were in the same boat. They were in the same boat. They were a small population of people. They got taken down on because they were lowest in our minds. In our minds, they were lower species. I'm saying our minds because I'm actually a white person, and us white people are the reason why. One of the main reasons why nigger has become a racist word because of the way we used it, which I cannot deny. I do. That's the only thing I hate about my culture heritage is because it's the only thing I don't like about my heritage is because of what we did to the black people. Now everything's alright. Everything's alright. But there is what I learned about it and what we did to them is deep down inside me, I just wish somewhere down in my heart, like, there's no way I cannot deny there is actually somewhat wish in I had not been white. But I don't fully hate it. I don't fully hate it. But you guys already know that a human can't have 100%. It's impossible to have 100% feeling on something. There is always going to be some form of doubt in a human. We cannot deny that. We cannot deny that. It's always happened. It always happens. But one verse is pretty much saying, we're weeaboo. I won't be surprised one day that if we Japanese cultural lovers, us anime lovers, us manga lovers, us visual novels, us gaming lovers, we won't be surprised if this world soon might become, if we're able to win pretty much against people using this word. Because I have to say, guys, the world governments have actually put into a debate between banning anime before. It actually had been into the government before. There's a lot of people who never knew that. But guess what? Because they don't care about anime. The only reason we know about it because we like anime. We search anything about anime, and we can find shit like this out. There's only a few percentage of non-anime lovers, or a few average anime lovers that will find out about this. But us big fans of anime lovers, we found out quite quickly and we learned it. And yes, the government have actually done a lot of things that actually we have to admit. But they admit that they got us anime into trouble and could have got us people like an anime into deep trouble. But the law had never gone out. They're lucky they never, ever gone out. Like, one time they were classified anime as child porn. They're lucky for us, that didn't go in. That didn't come into... Well, even I, glad that never happened, because... Pretty much like banning like Pokemon, which is meant for children. That's anime. Because it's only... And this law, that would have been existed if it did not get defeated. That law, that complaint, that candidate of that could have come a law, could come from a law, came out in 2010, guys. If I remember correct, 2010. Only 6 years ago. Only 6 years ago. Yeah. Not long. You might feel people might feel like 6 years is quite long, and yes, maybe in, you could say, gaming technology growing, but you think about laws. And also the human life. 6 years is not that long. It's not that long. Even 10 years is not that long. Just show it, guys. He said another main reason why this word, and I feel like racism, is because the government has somehow got information leaked out. You know, they didn't do it on purpose. No, because I think someone's like hacked in something, but they're able to get like information out, which. But I think that the government should really notice this, because if they're gonna put anything anime related into their laws, put Weeaboo at least in the law, or racism. That's what I'm saying. If you want an anime-based law in your laws, get the Weeaboo word into a racism-based category. Because one way I believe that most people, only most, I know there's still people using racist words out there, which is for bad reasons, not for education purposes, or tried to use an example like I'm using it as. They will use it, but it will cut down majority of people using it as an insult, because now it could be classified as a racism thing. And we all cannot deny now, anime and Taku and the Japanese thing has now become its own culture combined together. So it's pretty much, yeah. And also, what anime does for us, it helps us to meet people. It really does. I have to admit, guys, when I was younger, I never got a chance to meet anybody outside my own village properly without going to school. But that's still not too many people you meet. But anime, guys, it helped me to meet tons of people, not just in my own country, but around the world. I even made friends that are freaking not English. They are other cultures. One of my friends is Chinese. One of my friends is Hungarian. You know Marcel, right? He's Hungarian. Anime is the reason why part of it, even though I met him in school, I got into anime and it got a connection more bigger. And we still connect each other because anime. Even my mate Kieran Dunbar, again, who's English, even though he's not a big anime, he's into Pokemon now. I'm the reason he's got into Pokemon. And we have more connection. Like, then Pokemon, well, there is a Pokemon anime out there, so the main series Pokemon is an anime video games, and it's Japanese again. So that just shows you, guys, the cultural heritage, the culture. Why it's so pissed me off. It just become the rant. Just become the rant. This rant is just tell you guys what I truly feel. What I truly feel about the usage of Weeaboo. I only know Weeaboo for not too long. I mean, I have not known Weeaboo for that long. Not as long as other people. I mean, only know it for like a few months. But then it shows once I learned it and what it started to piss me off even more. That just shows you. That just shows. If it got me already to rant so quickly, it just shows you how bad it got. Because there are people out there who know it for a while. That's even before this word became a racist word. Just shows you how bad the word has become now. Just shows you how bad the word has become now. If it done this. It made someone like me, who has not heard of Weeaboo as long as others, but not too long, they end the point where they end up hating the word and end up wanting to make this people show their feelings to this word. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I've got to say. Guys, that's my rant video of what I feel about the word Weeaboo. I don't care about the people who are Weeaboos. You're a Weeaboo, you're a Weeaboo. Okay, you make sense. You can be a Weeaboo if you want. Just don't come near me, of course. But I don't like how the word is getting used. I know otaku was originally being used as a insult word only in Japan, because pretty much otaku is pretty much meaning geek, nerd. Pretty much, as you know, now these day and age, not much big of a deal getting called geek or nerd, because pretty much video games, people got called geeks and nerds, and now video games are so big to have that people classify as normal, and that means now geek and nerd has become normal. That means including with otaku, the word otaku, you know, still pretty much was somewhat of an insult in Japan. It's now become something that people can just like shove for their shoulder. Weeaboo could have been that. Weeaboo could have been that, but no. No. I'm actually surprised. People knew about otakus, even non-anime Japanese culture lovers. They already knew about otaku. They actually have learned about otaku. But guess what? They never got news of that's a racist word. They never got news of an insult word until around the world. Until Weeaboo came out, that's when. So I'm actually freaking surprised. I'm actually surprised. A word that more people actually knew about before Weeaboo came around. I'm surprised they didn't use that as the word. But no, they decided to use Weeaboo. But anyway guys, that's my rant video to my feelings to the word Weeaboo. Anyway guys, yeah, hope you guys like it. That's judgeable. That's judgeable if you like it or not. Because this is a sensitive topic. This was a sensitive topic, so if you don't like it, you can go right ahead not liking this video. The only way I'm going to think you is that maybe you just didn't like what I was talking about, or you just like a play asshole. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much what I just described pretty much over again, Weeaboo, in some way. Even though you're not like anime, Japanese cartoons and stuff like that, but, you know, you just did something what a weird might do. But, pretty much, yeah. Anyway guys, I hope you guys like it. Become a chat fans today. If you guys want some mail, go to down below. My address there, and yeah. Hope you guys like it. Comment, like, subscribe, and also guys, I am also leaving comments down below for any suggestions you want me to do my 150 subscriber special, because I've done the video. It should be uploaded by now. Fully uploaded by now. what I want to do as my 100 subscriber special. Now guys, hope you guys like it. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye guys!